Copa family, what is up? We are out here in Battery Park City. Actually, the Statue of Liberty is right behind us. It's Pat and Aaron again, and so much to talk about. We've got drama in Paris, which continues between Neymar and Cavani. A little bit of Dani Alves involved in that as well. Manchester teams are rolling, first and second in the league. Bundesliga continues to ramp up. Dortmund's doing well. And then we've got some other things to look forward to this weekend, so let's get to it. You ready?
Let's do it. We got big egos. There's a long season. There's plenty of penalties to go around. It's Ligue 1. It's not like they're not going to score goals.
Pat, you and the boys, out on a Sunday morning, you know, playing a little pickup. A penalty comes.
Pat takes all the penalties.
Well, I was hoping to not have to talk this episode, but no, am I naive to think or wonder? And I honestly am wondering: is this not just like a manager decision? Shouldn't he just step in and be like, Cavani's taking it or Neymar's taking it? Probably Cavani, but is that not a thing?
I think Emery is trying to stay out of the situation, because if you make a stance, you're fundamentally, it's not that you're going for somebody, you're going against somebody, right? So you piss off Cavani, who scored 30-something goals, almost 40, I think, across all competitions. You're taking a stance against him. If you say he's the taker, you're taking a stance against Neymar, your new guy who you want to keep happy, who's clearly moody and likes to have his way with everything, right? What we don't actually see is whether they've actually talked, or even if we heard he left the stadium 20 minutes after the game. We heard Neymar unfollowed him on Instagram. All of that stuff is ridiculous, but I'm assuming they train together every day. Imagine going in the locker room, their lockers are probably close together, and then sitting two down from each other like we are in the office, and just going I'm not gonna talk to him until he talks to me. Perhaps the media is taking too much. Should they sell Cavani?
No, man, I don't think so. At least not off this incident. You got a guy that scores close to 40 goals a year.
Yeah.
You got a guy that is, if you replace him, there's only a couple names that you could replace him with. But I mean, let's back up a little bit. I could see them selling him because it's PSG and they're gonna want every year to reload and get better. And Cavani is probably, they're not gonna get rid of Neymar. They're not gonna get rid of Mbappe. So if anyone in that attack is gonna go, it's gonna be Cavani. But it all depends on how it goes through the season. If we see Neymar won't pass Cavani the ball, then maybe in January you gotta kind of reevaluate and say, oh, this is not working. But yeah. I think for now it's just one of those.
I just don't see how you get rid of Cavani, though.
No, man.
I mean, everybody talked about how PSG was going to lack goals the next year when Zlatan left, right? And then he just carried the entire load of two strikers, essentially. So I don't really see that changing. I mean, it's also hard in the world of social media now, right? Everything gets so blown out of proportion, and it lives forever and ever and ever until it eventually disappears.
I mean, aside from the fight on the field, what do we know? We literally don't know anything. We've seen.
We don't know them.
We don't know them. We don't know them personally. No, I was just watching clips of teammates fighting over penalties before this, Ronaldo and Xabi Alonso. It's happened plenty of times over the years, and most of those guys have gotten over it. So all we know is they got in a fight on the field, and we don't know anything from there. Sure, Cavani probably stormed off. He was probably pissed off. Someone needs to tell a story, so it might as well tell a story.
An easy solution, just take turns taking penalties, right? But they all, I mean, there's just so much money involved with goals and bonuses and all that type of stuff that, everybody wants those, those goals, and they're going to drop plenty of penalties this year if you think about it.
Cavani has a 1 million bonus if he finishes his top score, so that's incentive to grab penalties.
That's incentive to fight with a teammate, I'd fight with you over.
Oh, we fight over videos.
Over shawarma.
Yeah, they try to give you videos. I end up taking them because I'm young and a little better.
Yeah. And, up and coming versus the old KG vet.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, let us know what you guys think about this whole Neymar Cavani thing. Do you think that it's blown out of proportion? Do you think that it deserves the attention that it gets? Do you think Neymar should be taking it or Cavani? We want to know what you guys think. And get down in the comments. Let us know. Answer us or tell us what the correct solution to this problem is.
I'm looking forward to Cosmos, but also Old Firms this weekend. Yeah. 7 a.m. Jack Dempsey's on 33rd Street if you want to watch it with the boys.
Will you be there?
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure I just heard you on the way here saying I can't get there at 7 a.m. So why are you selling that as an experience?
I'm not,
you're not gonna
because it's still my boys. I want other people to go. I just don't think that I will because it's super early. I just have coffee and breakfast while everyone drinks beer.
But you're not going.
Maybe I will now. I'll be there. I'll be there.
Cool.
Big game. Well, let me talk about the game really quick.
Okay.
Celtic playing Rangers in what was formerly known as the Old Firm. Celtic will win away at Ibrox. Looking forward to it. I'll be back in bed by 9.
What do they call it now?
It's just a Glasgow derby.
It's Glasgow derby, dude. It's a different Rangers club now. It's not the same.
Says me, a Cosmos fan.
Yeah. All right, what are you looking forward to, Aaron?
I think that Sevilla Atletico game. Sevilla still haven't lost. Atletico have been struggling a little bit, so I think it's going to be a pretty interesting test for both teams. It's going to be fun, and I just really love La Liga. It's just a really fun brand of soccer to watch for me. So
it's funny, Heath was saying how he hates La Liga yesterday.
I was saying it just because, like, okay, Messi scores 4 goals. Great, wonderful, having a great season. Love Messi, love Ronaldo. They're the 2 of the best players ever. Having said that, how can it be possible to score that many goals on a regular basis against these teams? I'm gonna get killed for this, but I would say the bottom 6 teams in La Liga couldn't compete in most of the leagues around Europe.
I have nothing to like.
Don't get me wrong, Ibar. I love the story, all that stuff, great. But like, but like the small teams in La Liga, just how can there be such a gap and then tell me that it's the best league in the world? The best teams in the world, but I'd rather look at the Premier League. You have Manchester City and Man United.
I think
now.
the gap between like the top 10 in Spain and then like the next 4 and then the bottom 6 is just so big. That's why you just see like teams rotate in that bottom 6, just constantly getting relegated, popping up and popping down. But that top 10 that stay and continually build, the technical ability, like the quality throughout those teams, the way they play. And we see it in Europe. Their coefficient is ridiculous, both in Champions League and in Europa League. I think that top 10 is absurd. But then you're right, like the bottom, the guys that get like touchdowns put up on them every other week, like it's not great. It's not great when you get down to that level. But
I'm kind of a hypocrite.
The top
with that.
10 though.
I'm kind of a hypocrite though because like I want to watch a 5-0 game because it's nice, it's fun, it's pretty. You get to watch Messi just destroy people, which I'm a huge fan of. But at the same, and it's like also on the flip side, I don't want to watch like a Stoke-Leicester track meet of them like killing each other and like going like, yeah, they really got stuck in today. What a game from end to end, that 0-0 draw. I have an appreciation for it. It just sometimes makes me mad that it's just like, why does it have to be like, it just all goes full circle to why Neymar is going to France instead of in England, because he's got to go to another league where you can score a bunch of goals, because that's all you do. That's all you can do now to win the Ballon d'Or. Score 50 goals and you can win a Ballon d'Or. Otherwise, it's like Sergio Ramos could have won it. Manuel Neuer could have won it, but they're not.
Yeah. In your defense, you never actually said you hated La Liga. I put words in your mouth. I'm a hater.
It's more about the people that say La Liga is the best league in the world that makes me mad, because you're taking a whole league into account. Now, the best teams in La Liga are the best teams in the world for sure, and they prove that in Europe every single year, at least for the last 4, 5, 6 years, going back to the when the Premier League was kind of doing well. But I don't know. I'm excited though about the Manchester teams continuing to dominate. I'm not a fan of either of them, but I think good Manchester teams, especially a good Manchester United, is actually really good for the Premier League, right? It's never good when they're struggling or they're a Europa League team. I think they're best when they're a Champions League team and doing well in the league, and I think it's good for the Premier League to have that because they're a historic club and they've been kind of gone for a while.
Here's the thing, I agree with you half. I think it's good for the league as a whole for United to be good, but I do not enjoy seeing them good. I love to see United struggle, but they are so good right now. They're so consistent, right? I think, honestly...
I mean, you can even hate the old United teams, you know, like the class of 92
I hate it.
or whatever.
I love to hate them because
like,
they were so good.
Yeah,
and
but that's why. But there was an appreciation for how good and efficient they were, and the quality that they had.
They didn't have Arsenal's bad. If Arsenal were also
terrible.
good alongside United, I would be happier.
Leicester played a stronger squad than Liverpool. Liverpool still put out some of their players, lost, and now they play again in the league this weekend. Do you think Liverpool can bounce back? It seems like Liverpool's season, which was going like this, and everybody said if they had defenders, they could win the league, and they didn't. They don't get defenders, and now they're coming like crashing down. Only got 2 of their last 6 points. Do you think they'll bounce back against Leicester this weekend?
I mean, Liverpool is so unpredictable. I mean, it's been great watching in the office as our like 6 Liverpool fans just watch each game as they continue to tank. But as I said, they're unpredictable. They could come back this weekend and win like big. But I agree. Without a commitment to a strong defender in the window, they're just always going to struggle a bit.
I have no faith in them not conceding. Like, I mean, they're gonna have their full strength team this weekend, and you kind of think they have obviously a better chance with their full strength team, but I don't know, man. I wouldn't put it past Leicester to go like hit them 1-0.
Are you saying that Liverpool's team's not good in transition? The back line? Saying Moreno, Ragnar Klavan can't recover quick enough on the spin when you play against Aguero?
Stepping out really hard on this one, but I don't really trust that back line. I know it's a hot take.
But guys, let us know what you think. What are you looking forward to this weekend? Do you actually like that Manchester teams are doing well, or would you like to see another Leicester? Okay, we'd all like to see another Leicester season, but or would you like to see some other teams step up, like a Chelsea or an Arsenal, wink wink, which will never probably happen in our lifetime again? Let us know in the comments.
They're almost setting a precedent for, in a number of ways, for like MLS 3.0, I guess it is now, like going back into NFL stadiums because they can fill them. And also just like the way they're doing DP stuff is crazy. They're getting young South American players that can ball instead of old guys that'll bring in names. They're just, I mean, they're writing a new playbook and it's actually pretty sick.
The only thing I'm disappointed about is that they're playing on turf. That's the only thing. I feel like that's creating these unique advantages for teams that play on turf versus grass, and I get it when they were saying like, oh, the weather and you know these types of things, but like, you can't tell me that Atlanta can't have a grass pitch all year long.
That honestly, with that stadium and with the resource that Arthur Blank is putting into it, I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years they have like some super technology where they can bring in a grass field.
They have a retractable grass pitch that they pick it up and move it out. I think Schalke has it. I think one of the teams in Holland has it where they can actually roll the pitches out to give them sun and like those types of things where they can actually move the grass. I don't know about working with turf, but I don't know. It's a sick story though, like right away. I know that kind of hurts the traditional thinking of the Silverbacks and like Atlanta, but like it is kind of cool to see that, okay, say they supported the Silverbacks, okay, 5,000 people. It's actually cool to see an entire city, which is one of the largest cities in America, to be able to bring 70,000 people to a stadium. And I actually think that's a compliment to what, like the soccer that was previously in Atlanta with Atlanta, the Silverbacks, and all of that is now kind of like spurred into something even bigger, which...
I grew up in the South, in North Carolina, you might call it East Coast. But Atlanta has always been a booming soccer town, and the South knew that. Like, it's always been pretty much the biggest like hub for soccer, that alongside North Carolina. But it's been really cool as a Southerner to see Atlanta boom like this, to see them embrace this team, and to see them be good. Like, the fact that they're actually good is crazy right now. So, I mean, it's been cool.
I just hope that it sustains, right? It's always my fear, and actually we've seen it sustain. Like Kansas City, when they got their new stadium, it was like, oh, let's see if it stays that way. And they consistently, you know, Portland, Seattle consistently, Orlando consistently, these teams that are coming in consistently. Now, I'm not really sure, I haven't paid too much attention to Minnesota and what their attendance and whatnot's been, but I hope that it stays that way, and it's like they continue to kind of set that bar. Yeah, just that you have this high quality thing. Instead of taking the money, you're also getting a good product as well, instead of being like, oh yeah, we have a billionaire owner. Yeah, you have a billionaire owner who's also capable of pulling the whole city together to come to and sell tickets and like create a real community around it. I think that's pretty cool. All right, guys, let's wrap this up, but let's ask our fans and our audience. Guys, we want to know what you think about rivalries, derbies, all that stuff. What do you think the foundation is for a good derby? Let us know, and make sure you like, and if you haven't, subscribe. See you guys.